Cool. Hey guys. So yeah, this is just a little sort of guide video on the follow actions thing. So it's really simple to set up, but it's something that a lot of people don't really know about. And I use it like all the time for lots of different things. And the thing that came to me with this was I mainly use it for drum patterns, but I think for stuff around grids, it would be super useful. So what I've done here, this is a mega simple project, but I've basically just got a kick and a bass in. It's all this stuff is from Sonic Formations as well, and I haven't mixed anything. Do you know what I mean? I've done no phase, any of that kind of shit. It's just there, just to sort of demonstrate the procedure. I've gone into the grids and glitches folder, and I've pulled in anything that's in G, and these G sharp ones, I've just shifted them down a semitone so they're all in key. But again, you can kind of, you know, as long as you know that your notes work, you can kind of do it for anything. Alright, the idea of this is that I thought it would work really well, Tristan, actually, with the stuff that you've been showing us, because it kind of has a similar sort of vibe to it, where you're sort of allowing the machine to do a lot of the work. It's this kind of randomized type, like controlled chaos thing. So basically, each clip, you can have these things called follow actions, which essentially says once the clip has finished playing, or at a certain point in time during the clip, play another clip with a certain bunch of parameters. So to get these up, you want to click down here, and you want to enable this little launch box. And what you want to do is we can select them all. Again, you can sort of customize this for each different clip, but I'm just going to do it, you know, in sort of a blanket way. So down here, you've got this follow action thing. So you start with the follow action time. So this is at what point does the action actually take place. So at the moment, it's 1 bar. So what I'm going to do is let's maybe try sticking this to like 4 bars to begin with, because I think most of these patterns, yeah, are at least like, you know, sort of 16 bars long. So once we've selected the 4 bar thing, we then have these two options here. So this is the first thing that we can ask it to do. So we can say it will either stop playing, it will play the same clip again, it will play the previous clip in the sequence, it will play the next clip in the sequence, it will play the first, it will play the last, it will play any clip including the current one that's playing, or it will play any other clip. So I'm going to stick it to other. Then we also have a second one which is exactly the same. So I'm going to say let's go with maybe play again. Try that. And then this number, these two numbers here, is essentially, it's like a probability ratio. So it's like the chance. So if I say like 3 to 1, that means that there's a 3 to 1 chance that what will happen is when it finishes the current playing clip, it will play any other one. And there's a 1 chance that it will play the same again. So you can sort of use these to essentially like control the amount of randomness that gets put in. So I'll turn this on, and then what you can do is you can just obviously record the output of that. So I've just set this to in here to record the you know, this channel. So I'll just record on that, and then we just hit play, and I'll just start on the top one. So you see it's triggering a new one. Okay, so it's actually looking like 4 bars is way too long for what I had in mind. So let's maybe change that back down to like 1 bar. Let's see what happens now. So we're obviously getting a bit more interesting stuff here. I might even change this to, let's say, like 2 beats. Let's maybe get back to 1 bar. So you get the idea, right? And obviously, you know, if you the more you sort of customize the actual clips that you've got, the more sort of interesting stuff you're going to get. So, you know, if you pitch a bunch of these up and down, if you cut bits out, you know, if you put the start point to different locations, you end up with really interesting stuff that you wouldn't necessarily have done, you know, already. And you've also got a bunch of other options down here. Another really good one to do it with is like drum loops, so you can get some really interesting drum patterns. But you know, you end up with a pretty cool thing which you can then do a whole bunch of stuff to, or just use in itself. So you know, if I take this recorded thing now, and you know, I could just maybe loop like, you know, let's find something that's interesting about this section here. Or maybe just pull that back a bit. Yeah, I mean, here you can hear that it's repeating a bit more, obviously, than perhaps I'd like, but that all just comes down to changing the amount of time here. And also, you know, there's nothing to stop you sort of changing that on the fly to get some interesting patterns. So, yeah, I hope that gives you a pretty solid explanation of what I was talking about. Cool. Excited to see what happens. Cheers, guys.